Good morning to all. In today's session, we are going to continue CSLNA GRF Chemical Science, June 2016, Part B. In the previous session, question number 21 to 60 have been completed. So actually, 17, 18, 19, 20 series in all Part B session, we have 40 questions in Part B and 60 questions in Part C. But in 2016 we have 70. That's the reason why I skipped for 60. That means 21 to 60 only. So remaining 10 questions will be covered in this session. Okay. So let us discuss about these questions. This kind of discussion will helpful for your competitive examinations and entrance exams, which are pertaining with any chemistry questions. So it will be the standard question paper, whichever given in the CSIR NET GRF Chemical Sciences. Let us enter into our actual session. Here, we are going to discuss about question number 61 to 70. Again, it is the part of Part B only. So this is not Part C. It is a part of Part B only. So CSIR NET GRF Chemical Science June 2016 Part B session. In that 61 to 70, total 10 questions are going to be discussed now. Let us see question number 61. It is a part of electrochemistry on titrating conductometrically sodium hydroxide solution with mixture of hydrochloric acid and acetic acid solutions. Plots of volume of mixed acid added in y-axis against conductance on x-axis. Okay. So here, conductometric titration have been given. Mixture of acids were given. One is strong acid, second is weak base, and it is titrated against sodium hydroxide, strong base. So in general, y-axis coordinate we are taking conductance and x-axis coordinate we are taking HCl versus acetic acid. The plot will be represented in this manner. V-shaped plot will be obtained. That is clearly indicated here. Conductance versus volume of HCl and acetic acid, it is represented in V shape. So this is the normal pattern. But within the problem, they twisted the question. How? So here, y-axis term is given as mixture of acid, HCl and acetic acid. Conductance is given on the x-axis. That means reaction coordinates were inverted so that the plot will be inverted in this manner. So initially plot will be in this manner, but we are changing the coordinates. Reaction coordinates will be changed. Volume of HCl versus acetic acid taken on the y-axis, conductance was taken on the x-axis, so that plot will be somewhat inverted. So it will be represented, just we are rotating the plot so that it will be obtained. So it is somewhat twisted question, right? Now let us move on to question number 62. dH by dPt has dimensions of, okay, differential of enthalpy and differential of pressure. This ratio have the dimensions of, okay. So in order to get this, we have the formula dH is equal to TdS plus VdP. So enthalpy change is given as TdS plus VdP. Then both the sides we are going to differentiate with respect to pressure. So being temperature is constant, within the problem it is mentioned as temperature constant. At the constant temperature, we are going to differentiate with pressure on both sides. Now it will become dH by dPt and TdS by dPt plus VdP by dP. Here, temperature remains constant. That's why temperature term will not be differentiated. And here also volume will not be differentiated because here we have a dP. Volume remains constant. So dP by dP. dP by dP get compensated. Now the equation will remains like this. TdS by dP. Since the temperature is constant, that's the reason why this entire term becomes 0. So it is the constant term, right? That's why this entire term becomes 0. dH by dPt is equal to 0 plus V, dP by dP both get cancelled, V into 1, right? So that's the reason why dH by dPt is equal to V. So dH by dPt have the dimensions of V, V nothing but volume. So correct answer for this question number 62 will be option number 2, right? So for question number 62, option number 2 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 63. It is the part of solid state chemistry. In the cubic crystal, the plane 1, 0, 0 is equally inclined to the planes. So one of the Miller-Indice plane was given, that is 100 was given, and the remaining two planes we have to interpret. For that purpose, we have the formula cos theta is equal to. So first, let us compare. Let us compare with the option number 1, where we are taking Miller indices 100 with 010. Okay, so 100 was taken with 010. Let us see whether it is possible or not. So for that purpose, we are taking cos theta is equal to what is the, so here two different planes are given. So one plane, let us assume it is HKL, that is nothing but H1 K1 L1 for first plane, and for the second plane it will be H2 K2 L2. Let us assign H1 K1 L2 for 010 plane. Now the formula can be employed here. It will be cos theta is equal to H1 H2 plus K1 K2 plus L1 L2. Okay, here the formula, the empirical formula is H1 H2 plus K1 K2 and L2 by root H1 square plus K1 square plus L1 square into root H2 square plus K2 square into L2 square. So here we are taking the square root of these three indices. These three Miller indices were taken. Okay, so here for one plane it will be H1 K1 L1, for second plane H2 K2 L2 square. So in this way, square root of all these terms will be taken in the denominator. Now let us substitute. H1 denotes what? 1. Then H2 denotes what? 0. So that's why we are taking H1 into H2, nothing but 1 into 0. K1 K2. So 0 here, 1 is there. So 0 into 1 will be the K1 into K2. Then L1 and L2. L1 will be 0, L2 also 0. So 0 into 0 was taken upon. So here H1 square nothing but 1 square, K1 square 0 square, L1 square nothing but 0 square. Again here, this can be employed for second one. So H2 square is nothing but 0 square, K2 square 1 square, L2 square nothing but 0 square. Then let us see 1 into 0, it will be 0. 0 into it will be 0. 0 into 0 again 0. By K1 square, 1 square plus 0 square plus 0 square, it will become root 1 square. Here root 0 square plus 1 square plus 0 square, it will become again root 1 square only. Any term which is having 0, that entire term becomes 0 itself. So here cos theta value becomes 0 for this plane. Which plane? 100 and 010, we got cos theta is equal to 0. And then let us apply second condition, that is 100 can be correlated with 011 Miller indice plane. So now let us apply the same formula, H2 plus K1 K2 plus L1 L2 by root H1 square plus K1 square plus L1 square into root H2 square plus K2 square into L2 square was taken. Let us substitute all the values. 1 into 0, 0 into 1, 0 into 1 will be taken. Then here H1, L1, K1, here they corresponds to this one, right? So 1 square plus 0 square plus 0 square, it will be 0 square plus 1 square plus 1 square, right? So again here we got 1 into 0, 0, 0 into 1, 0, 0 into 1, 0. 0 by any denominator term, that will become 0 itself, right? So that here also cos theta value becomes 0. Hence we can clearly say that this 100 plane is clearly inclined towards this 010 and 011 plane. So this is the correct answer. If we go with remaining all, they may not be mapped exactly. So for question number 63, option number 1 will be the correct answer. Let us move on to question number 64. It is a part of electrochemistry. The standard electrode potential E0 at a fixed temperature given medium is dependent upon. Standard electrode potential is nothing but the potential which is calculated from any metal dipped into its own ion solution at 1 molar concentration, 1 atmospheric pressure, and 273 Kelvin temperature. So these standard conditions to be maintained. So at these standard conditions, what electrode potential we are determining is denoted as standard electrode potential. The standard electrode potential mainly depends upon electrode reaction, whether it participated in reduction or oxidation. that electrode reaction will influence this electrode potential value. Whether it is oxidation, that corresponds to oxidation potential. If it is seeking electron, that corresponds to reduction potential. So electrode reaction is essential to standard electrode potential value. And electrode composition, whether it is made up of solid, liquid, gas, that also matters for this standard electrode potential, right? So standard electrode potential of fixed temperature and given medium dependent upon electrode reaction and electrode composition. For question number 64, option number 4 will be the correct answer. Let us move on to question number 65. At titration, the percentage uncertainty in the measured aliquot volume and the measured titer volume plus or minus x and plus or minus y respectively. Volume denoted with plus or minus x and measured aliquot volume measured with plus or minus x. Measured titer volume is given by plus or minus y. The percentage error in the calculated concentration. Okay, so here aliquot liquid is nothing but any liquid which is in exact measured quantity is called aliquot liquid. For that purpose, the percentage error can be calculated by taking the formula root x square plus y square. Okay, so percentage error can be calculated by taking the x square plus y square. That can be denoted as x square plus y square whole to the power half, right? So here root can be indicated with whole to the power half also. That's the reason why for question number 65, option number 4 will be the correct answer. Let us move on to question number 66. It is the part of thermodynamics. For an ideal gas at 300 Kelvin, if ideal gas was taken at 300 Kelvin, what kind of relation will be the suitable one? Let us predict. So at 300 Kelvin temperature, we are measuring first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics states that du is equal to TdS minus PdV. U stands for internal energy. T is the temperature, S is the entropy, P is the pressure, V is the volume, right? So U is nothing but internal energy. Du is equal to TdS minus PdV. So what we are doing, we are differentiating this equation with respect to volume. So both the sides can be differentiated by volume. Then du by dv is equal to TdS by dv minus PdV by dv. dv get cancelled here. Du by dv is equal to TdS by dv minus PTs, right? So du by dv is equal to T dp by dt minus P. ds by dv can be replaced with dp by dt because we derived this relation from Maxwell equation. So ds by dv is equal to dp by dt. So that ds by dv can be replaced with dp by dt, right? So here equation is transformed into this. Now this ds by dv is equal to dp by dt, that is called Maxwell relation. From Maxwell relation, different kind of substitutions we can do, right? So let us employ ideal gas equation because this is applied for ideal gas only. Ideal gas equation is equal to PV is equal to RT. Pressure is given by RT by V, right? Equation. Now this equation can be different with temperature. This equation now we are going to differentiate with the temperature. Now dp by dt is equal to dt by dt R by V. Since R is the constant, V is the constant volume here, so that these two terms will not be differentiated. So here dp by dt is equal to dt by dt R by V can be taken, right? So now dt get cancelled, both get compensated. Then dp by dt is equal to R by V. Here we have dp by dt. Here we have dp by dt. So in this equation, we can substitute the value of dp by dt. What is the value? R by V is the value that can be substituted in this equation. Du by dv is equal to T dp by dt minus P. So this is the equation what we got here. In that equation, let us substitute this dp by dt value. What is the value? R by V. So that du by dv is equal to T R by V minus P, right? So already we know ideal gas equation for 1 mole, it will be PV is equal to RT. P is nothing but RT by V, right? So here T RT by V, here also we have RT by V, here also we have RT by V. That RT by V is nothing but P itself, right? So that can be substituted. Du by dV is equal to P minus P. Plus P minus P both get compensated. So final answer will be du by dV is equal to 0. Du by dV is equal to 0 at constant temperature. Temperature is 300 Kelvin. So that is the equation which is derived from first law of thermodynamics, right? So for question number 66, option number 1 will be the correct answer. Let us move on to question number 67. It is the term symbol group theory question. So fundamental molecule hydrogen is given to us, but not ground state. First excited state they considered. In order to construct, term symbol for atom is different, term symbol for molecule is different. Here they are asking about molecule. So for molecule, we have certain protocols. Let us see what are the protocols. If electron is residing in sigma bonding, that is denoted, that is called unjarrad orbital. Pi bonding electron is called unjarrad orbital. Pi antibonding orbital is called as jarrad orbital. Now, term symbol can be represented as for the molecule if L value, angular momentum value is 0, 1, 2, 3. If angular momentum value is 0, 1, 2, 3, it can be for 0, it will be denoted with sigma. For 1, angular momentum value, it will be pi. For 2, it will be delta. For 3, it will be pi. So this is for molecule. If atom was taken, it will be SPDF. In case of molecule, this angular momentum term symbol will be denoted as sigma pi delta pi, right? So, and one more relation we have to know. If jarrad multiplied with jarrad, that will become finally jarrad only. Unjarrad multiplied with unjarrad, that also becomes unjarrad only. But jarrad unjarrad get multiplied, the final answer will be unjarrad. This is required for us in order to derive this equation for hydrogen molecule first excited state. Now hydrogen molecule is taken, right? Hydrogen molecule in the sense each hydrogen associated with one electron. When hydrogen atoms combine here, the electronic configuration for molecule hydrogen will be 1 sigma square. Sigma bonding. So in sigma bonding, 2 electrons are there. So that is represented here, sigma bonding 2 electrons. We are going to excite. So when it is excited, one of the electron now entered into antibonding orbital. Sigma gerane attributed with 1 electron. Sigma unjarrad, nothing but antibonding. Sigma antibonding, just now we discussed, sigma antibonding is called unjarrad orbital, where one more electron will be there. So one of the electron in jarrad orbital, any other electron is there, unjarrad orbital. Now, both belongs to s orbitals, right? Because hydrogen atom only one is there, sigma 1 is to sigma 1 is star electron entered. That's why again s orbital only. So s orbital, for s orbital, L value becomes 0, right? For 0, the term symbol will be sigma. For 0, the term symbol will be sigma. So sigma is taken as the term symbol now. Now, so we have 2 electrons which are having positive spin. So they are in the clockwise rotation. So that 2 electrons in clockwise rotation, that's why final spin will be half into half, it will be 1. So half plus half, it will be 1, right? So let us apply 2s plus 1 formula. When 2s plus 1 formula is applied, 2 into 1 plus 1. 2 into 1, 2 plus 1, 3. So spin multiplicity is taken as 3. So here superscript value becomes 3 because 2s plus 1 value is taken as 3. Now, here one of the electron is there in the jarrad, another electron is there in the unjarrad orbital. Then jarrad into unjarrad. What is the final answer? Unjarrad, right? So that the subscript becomes U. U stands for unjarrad, right? And plus. Why plus sign is indicated? Plus sign denotes what? If electrons are present in either sigma bonding or sigma antibonding, always that will be denoted with positive sign. If electrons are present in pi orbital, that will emphasize negative sign. Here, electron when present in the sigma sign only. So that the final term symbol for first excited state of hydrogen molecule is sigma 3 unjarrad positive, right? So 3 is the spin multiplicity, U is the unjarrad, and sigma is L is equal to 0, and place denotes s orbital. Sigma antibonding orbital electron is there. That's the reason why it will be 3 sigma U positive, right? So here for question number 67, option number 4 will be the correct answer. Let us move on to question number 68. When river water containing colloidal clay flows into a sea, the major cause of silting. So everybody know that whenever river water is coming, river water is gathering all contaminants whichever present in the surface of the earth. Whenever it is carrying all the colloidal particles, that may be clay particle, that may be soil particle, that may be any kind of other particles which are present on the soil surface. While coming, what happens whenever it is mixing, ultimately river water will mix with sea. So whenever it is mixing with sea, so sea water contains so many electrolytes like sodium chloride will be there, magnesium sulfate, calcium carbonate, so many kind of salts will be present in the sea water in the form of dissolved state. Those are called electrolytes. So always colloidal particles having tendency of coagulation whenever they mixed with any electrolyte. The process is called coagulation. The process is called suspension, so that there is a formation of silt. There is a formation of suspended particles where you can see river mouth region. So that is the main cause for the formation of delta region wherever sea water and the river water get mixed. So delta region, we can take Ganga basin, Godavari basin. In that region, delta soils will be originated because of this river water, whatever soil collected from different regions, and they get mixed with seawater, and seawater contains that electrolytes, and they used to what silt, they used to combine all the particles, that is called coagulation, so that the surface soil whichever collected from by the river water get deposited in that particular area, so delta soil will be originated. So the process is said to be flocculation. This is also known as coagulation, right? That is purely because of electrolytes, nothing but salts whichever present in the sea water. So they used to coagulate this river water containing colloidal particles. So for question number 68, option number 2 is the correct answer. Let us move on to question number 69. It is a match the following question. Different metals are given. So here gadolinium, aurum, platinum, and lithium. So all representative element metals, these some are of S block, some are of D block elements. D block element is there, yes, D block elements are there, and even S block elements also there. So here D block as well as S block elements are given in this. These metals corresponding their medicinal action to be predicted. So what is the medicinal property of these metals? We have to map. So first gadolinium is given. So here gadolinium. So this gadolinium metal, the main purpose of gadolinium is it is used in. So when this gadolinium metal used in the MRI scan, it is very essential to increase the quality or clarity of the images, so that internal part determination will become so easy. Accuracy of diagnosis will be raised by this gadolinium. So it will be used in the MRI scan. This is a diagnostic tool for measuring any defects or any diseases present by using radio frequency. It can be determined. The second metal will be aurum. Aurum is very essential metal for the treatment of arthritis. Arthritis is the disease mainly caused by bone weakness of bone, especially bone deformations at bone joints. So knee joints, any knee pains are there, any joint pains are there, that kind of arthritis can be treated or cured by using this aurum, and even aurum can be used in the cancer treatment. So aurum can be used. And next is about platinum. Platinum is a familiar medicinal compound in the form of cisplatin, where it is attached with the two amino groups, two chloro groups. So it will be used in the treatment of cancer. So cisplatin is the familiar medicine for the treatment of cancer. So di-amino dichloroplatinum, that is the square planar complex used for the treatment of cancer. And next is about lithium. Whenever lithium is used, that is the metal which is specifically used in the depression treatment. So manic depression, acute depression can be treated by using this lithium metal. So gadolinium for MRI scan, A with 3, A with 3 only given in the option number 3. So by this also we can conclude. And RM with arthritis, B with 4, and platinum with cancer, C with 1, lithium with manic depression, D with 2. So for question number 69, option number 2 is the right answer. Let us move on to question number 17. At pH 10, tryptophan exists as. Tryptophan is the heterocyclic alpha amino acid. Okay, so amino acids can be classified into two types. One is essential amino acid, second is non-essential amino acid. Amino acids which default present in our body are called non-essential, which need not to be taken from external source. So tryptophan is the essential amino acid which will not be produced in our body, which can be taken by the food diet. Okay, so this tryptophan is the amino acid, and it exists in this form. Indole is the heterocyclic ring, and here alpha amino acid will be there. This is a neutral tryptophan molecule, and here alpha amino acids are more stabilized because of Zwitter ion formation. Here, being these are associated with carboxylic acid and amine. Acid having tendency to lose H plus, base having tendency to accept H plus. That's why carboxylate and ammonium ion formation is possible. This is known as dipolar ion formation, is known as Zwitter ion. And its isoelectric point will be 5.89. What is meant by isoelectric point means up to this pH, it will be stable in this Zwitter ion form. If you are changing this pH, if you are lowering pH, one of the ion will be disappeared. If you are rising the pH above this, also one of the ion will be disappeared. The stability of Zwitter ion will be possible at this suitable pH. What is the pH for this one? 5.89, almost 6 it will be. So it will exist in the form of dipolar ion. But within the problem they mentioned at pH 10, tryptophan. So we are rising pH and we are providing basic medium. What basic medium will do? Basic medium will abstract one of the H plus. When H plus abstracted by basic medium, now it transformed into NH2. NH3 positive is there, that can be transformed into NH2, and carboxylate remains as such. So this is the existing form at pH 10. That means under alkaline medium, here tryptophan will be carboxylate anion. Carboxylate anion is represented in which form? Only in the option number 1 it is given. Option 2, dipolar ion is given. This is a Zwitter ion. At isoelectric point only this will be possible. In the third form, nothing will be eliminated. This is also, it is protonated. So under basic condition, protonation may not be possible. Here they removed hydrogen from indole. This is also not correct. Only the satisfying option will be option number 1. For question number 70, option number 1 will be the correct answer, right? By this, so part B, CSIR NET Chemical Science, June 2016, part B, remaining 10 questions have been completed in this session. I think it will be very much helpful for you. Thank you very much for your patience listening. Thank you one and all.